Nobody likes to make mistakes, especially in retirement when you no longer have your company paycheck coming in. Because mistakes, well, they can cost you time, they can cost you money, they can be aggravating, they can cause headaches, and they could potentially impact your retirement lifestyle. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 big money mistakes when it comes to retirement planning. And instead of having these money mistakes be costly to you in your retirement, we're going to talk about strategies to help you avoid them. Hey, thanks for joining our YouTube channel today. I'm Scott Sierens. I run a retirement planning and investment management firm where we help families and individuals, people just like you, maximize their retirement story. If that's something that you'd like help in, you can go to lifemoneyshow.com and click on the Work With Us tab to learn some more. So money mistake number 1 in retirement planning is ignoring the future tax implications of your retirement savings. Our goal with our clients is that they pay the IRS what they legally have to, but we don't want to leave the IRS a tip. Let's just say you have $1 million sitting in your 401k. Do you actually own $1 million? Well, not necessarily. You might only own $750,000 or $800,000 or $700,000. Why is that? Well, none of that money has been taxed yet. So it all depends on what you do about taxes. Are you paying attention to taxes or not? You see, most people have saved into their 401ks, 403bs, 457 accounts. But a lot of people have just been conditioned to save into those accounts. Well, none of that money has been taxed yet. So all of that money, when you decide to start pulling it out in your retirement, you'll have to pay income tax on each and every one of those dollars that you pull out. So that's one way it's going to have an impact on your future. Then you have to start taking required minimum distributions in your 70s. Oh, and if you're a married couple, have you thought about the widow's tax? What happens if one person passes away? Does the remaining spouse jump up a tax bracket? So let's talk about strategies to help you reduce your long-term tax burden. Keep more of that hard-earned money in your accounts versus giving it to the IRS. Well, first off, if you're still working, are you putting your money into the right bucket? Should you be using the taxable bucket, the tax-deferred bucket, or the tax-free bucket? Whether you're working or retired, should you be considering Roth conversions, taking money out of those 401ks, IRAs, paying tax today, and putting it into your Roth bucket, your tax-free bucket? Another strategy to think about is, are you using the right investments or using tax-efficient investments in the right buckets? Using the right investments in the right buckets, or are your investments actually costing you more in tax dollars? There's other strategies as well, like qualified charitable distributions, donor-advised funds, backdoor Roth IRAs. There's so many to think about here, but start with those 3 basic ones that I went over first. Those can help keep more of your hard-earned retirement savings with you and in your account versus giving it to the IRS. Folks, when it comes to taxes, either you have a plan for taxes or the IRS has a plan for you. Money mistake number 2 in retirement planning is taking Social Security too early. For most people, typically Social Security is going to make a huge portion of your retirement income. Taking it as early as 62, you could be looking at upwards of a 30% reduction from your full retirement age. That's thousands and thousands of dollars over your lifetime that you could be potentially shorting yourself taking Social Security early. That could mean reducing your lifestyle. It could mean just not having the income coming in that you might need later in life. If you feel like you might live into your 80s, typically waiting longer to take Social Security then makes a whole lot of sense. All right, some strategies to consider before you take Social Security. One is, what do you think your longevity will be? Another strategy, cost of living adjustments. Have you factored in the adjustments, the increases that you'll get each and every year, or the increases that you'll get just by delaying and waiting to take it? How about survivor benefits if you're a married couple? Have you factored that in? And then the last factor to consider as well is how much you've saved in your retirement savings. Take Social Security too early, don't have enough in your retirement savings, well then guess what? You're going to end up reducing your overall lifestyle. So really think about this. Before you make money mistake number 2 of taking Social Security too early, I'd highly recommend downloading our free guide to understanding Social Security benefits. Hopefully it can help you increase your benefit by hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars. You can get that at lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security. Again, lifemoneyshow.com/Social Security, and we'll include a link in the description below. Money mistake number 3, not having a clear purpose in retirement. And you might be wondering, how is this a money mistake? Well, let's just think about it this way. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve in retirement, what you want to do in retirement, well, now you've got a clear vision and you can put a purpose to your money and to your investments to help you achieve that vision. But no purpose, well, you might just have a bunch of money and feel pretty unfulfilled in retirement because your money doesn't have any direction. It doesn't have any use of what you're looking to do with it. Let me just give you a really simple example to this. Let's just say you're going to build a house. And if you're going to build a house, would you just go out randomly and just start buying bricks and siding and lumber? Most likely not. Most likely you're going to start with the blueprint, the vision of what you want your house to look like. Do you want single story? Do you want 2-story? Do you want a brick house? Do you want a house with siding? Do you want a bunch of windows, or do you want it closed off on the inside? Do you want it wide open, or do you want walls separating all the spaces? And I can go on and on. And this is the same thing that you need to do for your retirement. You see, because when you have that clear vision, now you know what to go and utilize to build that house. Once you have that blueprint, now we can go buy the right amount of lumber, we can go buy the right amount of siding, we can go buy all of the tools and equipment that we need to build that house. No blueprint, we just have a bunch of lumber, siding, tools, etc., just sitting there. No direction, no defined use of how to use them. So the same happens for your retirement. Put that clear vision to your retirement. Next thing you know, your money and your investments will have a purpose to them to help you achieve the blueprint that you put together. So what's a strategy to help you avoid money mistake number 3? Well, the strategy would be just to sit down and really think about what you want your retirement to look like. What's your vision? What do you want your retirement story to be? Does that include travel? Maybe not. Is it hobbies, activities? Is it something in your house, something in your garden? Is it something with your family? Everybody's retirement story is going to be different. But if you sit down and put together or write out what you want your retirement story to be, now you can start defining the tools, the products, the investments that you need to help make your blueprint happen. Money mistake number 4 in retirement planning is ignoring healthcare expenses. So let's just continue on the analogy of home projects. Have you ever heard anybody do a home project and, let's say, remodel their kitchen, remodel their bathroom, and then come out and say, boy, it all went under budget? Well, not very typically, right? And the reason for that is because of those unexpected expenses. So let's just say that home project you do, well, you might be able to go and just take some more money and, make that home project happen. In retirement, you no longer have that company paycheck coming in. So those unexpected expenses can then mean, do you have to reduce your retirement lifestyle? So it's important to factor these things in advance, like Medicare supplements or Medicare Advantage, prescriptions, etc. So the base Medicare that you have to pay for, and then the supplements and Advantage that I was just mentioning. What about long-term care? What if you were to need to go into an assisted living facility or a nursing home? Or just what about home care? Or if you're going to transfer the risk to an insurance company, have you thought about what the premiums would be for a long-term care policy? Factor all of these in so that way you don't have to reduce your retirement lifestyle. What's the way to avoid money mistake number 4? Pretty simple. Make sure you're thinking about healthcare expenses from Medicare to long-term care and factor them into your overall income plan. All right, before I get into money mistake number 5, if you're finding this video to be of value, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel as we're coming out with new videos each and every week about retirement planning, Social Security, and how to help minimize your taxes that you pay to the IRS. That way you can maximize your retirement story. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that way you get notified when those new videos come out. All right, here we go. Let's talk about money mistake number 5 in retirement planning. And what that is being too conservative in your investments. You might be thinking, wait a second, I've always been told that as I get near retirement, I need to make my investments more conservative. Well, let's first talk about the word conservative. What does that word even mean? Because my definition of conservative and your definition of conservative could be totally different when it comes to how much money do you have on the growth side of your portfolio and how much money is on the safer side of your portfolio. So everyone can have a different view when it comes to that. So instead, let's think about a few things here. One is you might need your retirement savings to last 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, or even longer. You're going to have to keep up with healthcare costs that go up through retirement. And then how about inflation, the cost of goods and services going up through retirement as well. So it's important that you have money that's growing upwards to help last as long as you will, and then help fund all of these things that we've just talked about that you need to think about in that retirement planning. So let's just take out the word conservative and instead how to avoid money mistake number 5 and just picking a fund that says conservative is aligning your investment plan with your income plan. And when the two of those align, you should have the appropriate amount on the growth aspect, the growth side of your overall investment portfolio, and then the appropriate amount on the safer side of your portfolio as well. So hopefully that helps you avoid money mistake number 5 of getting too conservative, because if you get too conservative, you don't have enough growth. Guess what? Next thing you know, you need to start reducing your lifestyle in retirement because your portfolio is not growing enough. Therefore, you can only take out less throughout your retirement. As I had mentioned, making some money mistakes in retirement can be very costly. It can cost you in taxes, it could cost you in income, it could cost you in unexpected expenses, or if you don't have enough money growing, it could cost you in how much you get to spend in your future. Hopefully the strategies I provided you today will help you think differently in regards to your retirement and your retirement planning. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel again, as we're coming out with new videos each and every week on retirement planning topics like Social Security, taxes, and how to help maximize your retirement spending and your retirement story.